thank God for this opportunity because being blessed to have such great coaches and such great players, it really puts things in perspective, especially when you're looked at as the public school who people think their perception is we have players from Texas and Arkansas and Mississippi, but I can tell you one thing, these guys are homegrown from New Orleans, Louisiana. And I think that makes it even better that our homegrown talent can pick a high school like Edna Karr High School, which exemplify not only great athletics, but great academics. And I just can't say how proud of these guys I am because they weathered through this storm. What is the storm? The storm is every naysayer, every person who thinks that you're one thing, but you really show it each and every day that you're something else. What is the thing that you are? You are a student athlete, you are a great person, you are an exceptional player, but you're a phenomenal kid, right? And let's not forget, these are kids, right? These guys, half of these guys have another year, half of them going to college in January, in a couple of weeks. And I think it can't be said enough how much stress and how much pressure these guys can take and handle playing at a school like Edna Karr High School. I just want to say publicly to them, and I know they're around me and they know how I feel about them, but I'm just so proud of them, how they chose to listen and instead of pretending to listen. And I'm just so happy and blessed to be around such phenomenal people, not just great players, but they're phenomenal people.
Coach, I'm going to ask each player to introduce themselves, give your name, your number, and your position.
I'm Corey Adams, number 20, D-line.
My name is Edna Karr, safety.
John Johnson, quarterback, number 1.
Richard Anderson, E-tackle, number 90.
Ron Francis, receiver.
Arsenio Booz, middle linebacker. Tyree Brigade, number 6.
Questions? Right there.
Question for John. John, how would you rate your performance here today? Obviously, you won Most Outstanding Player, but in your words, how would you rate it?
I give myself a 6 out of 10. I stay hard on myself, but I know my team got my back. The defense held up for me, allowing only 1 score, 2 scores. My O-line stepped up, and my receivers, they always had my back, and we worked for this, and we made it.
Question?
Right here, Coach. This Alexander offense averaged about 38 points in the playoffs, and they relied heavily on the run game. How would you describe the resilience your defense played with, only holding them to 8 points and eliminating the run game?
I think all week, I think towards how in staff meeting, talked about stopping the best player, right? We can't let the best player on our opposing team beat us, and we keyed it on him. Some keys and things that showed us some telltale signs, but I think the number one thing is these players up here, Tyree, Arsenio, Richard, Aiden, and Corey, all of those guys bought into the game plan. And when you have kids who in the midst of league testing, in the midst of signing day, in the midst of preparing for a state championship, right? It speaks of the character of the person. I think, when you have the great defensive staff and great defensive players, it equals to 8 points in the state championship game and a running clock. That was our first goal of the week, was to have a running clock in the state championship game. It didn't have anything to do with Ash. It had everything to do with us.
Question?
Coach, you're in the back. Adding on to your defensive performance, you don't see 2 safeties and a pick 6 in the state championship game too often. So how can you talk about just really setting the momentum there and being able to get it done in different ways?
Well, when you got Corey and Richard in the middle, it's pretty easy. And Aiden played a lot of zero coverage and the ace in the middle and Tyreek setting the edge. These guys, they're great players, right? And I think the plan was simple: let them pin their heads back and let them go tackle one of the best players in our state in the running back for Ash. But these guys are just as good. As you can see, they're up here for a reason. They're up here because they bought into a plan and they bought into a purpose, which was to represent their school to the best of their ability.
Question?
You guys had fun this season. Swagger Carter. That's the new name for y'all. Y'all had fun doing backflips. The intros coming out.
put a smile on y'all face, man. Y'all did a great job tonight. But Big Nine and Anderson, Mr. Anderson, how much fun was it tonight for you?
It was very fun for me. You know, playing for my seniors, playing on the side of the court for the last time. You know, just enjoying the moment and being dominant.
Question?
Coach, can you talk about this senior class this year? How impressed you've been with their development and growth throughout the past 4 years, 5 years for some of them, and how you feel that they're able to cap it off with the state championship?
Hopefully we don't have no 5 years up here. Mr. Corona come and knock on my door. But these guys, the senior class, the team motto this year was reclaim, right? What are we trying to reclaim? We're trying to reclaim the sense of our identity, not just reclaim a state championship, reclaim the sense of we are the best team in the state of Louisiana. We are the best high school in the state of Louisiana. We have the best character, we have the best students, we have the best teachers, we have the best principals, we have the best trainers. That's what we're trying to reclaim. Because when you are charged with leading a program at such a great magnitude like Edna Karr, the expectation is real. The expectation is to win. But how do you do it though? That matters. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And I think as you see tonight, we had a skirmish on the sideline, the discipline of the team, right? The discipline to not run on the field. That's what you're reclaiming, a sense of purpose, a sense of identity. That a school that's predominantly African American can be disciplined, can do their job on a consistent basis, right? And that's what we're trying to reclaim. And I think we did it today.
Question?
Coach, talk about the game plan. Did you, when you watched them on film, did you kind of get a sense that you were going to be able to run the ball? Because, you know, y'all guys passed the ball so much this year.
I think, you know, when we in meetings, you know, you guys, you know, we got so much talent, but I think, you know, these guys can tell you that they're in meetings all day. We meet more than we practice. But when you looked at them on defense and on offense, you thought to yourself, okay, this is who they are. And now let's cater our plan based off of who they are, but don't lose our identity. You know, the running backs ran well, John ran well, and coming off the sideline, just quick notes from him was, if you don't like it, run it. And I think that's a big part of how the game went in the second half. That's how it blew open so quickly, because if you didn't like it, he used his legs.
Question?
Coach, what does it say about John, back here, Coach? What does it say about John that if he had the first half he was able to stay even killed, continue to go and get more points for your team?
I think an average team, you know, be happy with being up 32 to whatever, 8 at halftime. But, you know, John is tough on himself, and we talked at halftime and said, listen, you know, protection breakdowns, don't try to force it, just use your legs and extend the play, right? I think, you know, having the best player in the state of Louisiana at quarterback is easy for us. And when you have the receivers and the defensive backs and the defensive linemen, you know, you can make things a little bit more simple. And that's what we did at halftime. We just made it a little bit more simple.
And jokingly, he also has said leading up to the game, y'all might need 50 to beat Asheville. You get the 50, but you dominated in this way. How much did you see a dominant performance like this coming?
I think, I said it before, I think the first goal we talked about on Tuesday, and these guys could allude to that, was we expected to run the clock in the state championship. But I don't want to sound arrogant or cocky, but that's the expectation, right? When you have National Signing Day and you sign 4 guys to a Division I school, that's the expectation, right? I mean, let's let the cat out of the bag. You know, anything less than where we are today would have been unsatisfactory. Not just because of the talent we have, because of the preparation. The preparation and the performance match today. And I think that's the best thing about this group, is they prepare so hard, and we be on them hard now. It's not like they walking around there doing the second line in the hallway, right? So, you know, the preparation and performance match, and anytime you could get that, you know, you get a state championship team.
Question?
Back here, and this question is for the seniors, so Toronto, Corey, or anyone else can answer this, but Coach Brown talked about reclaiming for this program here. For you guys individually, I mean, this is something, I know this was a goal to get here to the state. You hadn't made it the last, since 2020 here. To get to this point, finish it off, and for the state title, just tell me the emotions and how you feel about getting this thing done.
It started in the spring. We
talk to the team every day, talking about what we want to do. And our first goal was to win the state championship. So we knew we was going to take it day by day, practice by practice, workout by workout, just to get to this point.
Question.
And Aiden, this goes for you. That pick six on the second play, kind of laid the foundation of what was to come throughout the game. What did you see on that interception?
Well, it was a 3. Well, seeing 2 outs, a deep one in the shallow, and I just took the deep one, and the ball came straight to me, and I returned it.
Question.
This is for Coach right here. So you talk about blocking the outside noise when there's a lot of things going on, but talk about just blocking the outside noise when there's a lot of talk around the program about how good this team is and what the expectations are of this team, and just having this team focus on the right things ahead for your program.
I think if you ask them, I don't think they get a chance to hear the outside noise, because I think they'd be more worried about hearing my noise, right? And I think once they lock into that, I think that is the ultimate goal for me, not to come in team room and say, listen, we're not doing this, and this, right? I think that's the key. Just talking about it before, a team that listens versus a team that pretends like they're listening, right? And that's hard for 16, 17-year-olds to do. But I'm not going to get tired of repeating myself, right? I think that's the job of a coach, is to make sure that, when the iron is hot, you gotta press. And I think, these guys did a great job of responding, and I know they can't wait till they get back to school and celebrate with their teammates, because it's been a long time, and people gonna ask, Coach, you haven't been here this long, but what you've been missing? No, the best thing is the next one, right? And this is the next one, and we're gonna celebrate this one for 364 days out this year.
Final question.
I actually have 3 questions.
Final 3 questions.
First one, Brice, is this your best card?
This is a great card team. I'm not gonna sit up here. You're trying to get me in trouble, Mike. I'll say this. This is what I'll say. This is one of my better captain groups I've ever had. This team has 11 captains, which is unheard of at Karr. Usually we don't go over 8, and this team has 11. So that shows, if you are a Karr follower, that tells you what the expectation was for this team. Every single guy up here is a captain.
Second question. John, certainly a fabulous player. I don't disagree with you about best football player in the state, etc. But 4 interceptions, shrugged it off like it didn't, almost like it didn't happen, and kept attacking this.
Yeah, I think that's his best attribute, is his poise, right? His cool and collectedness. Again, when you playing quarterback at Karr, every eye is on you, every camera is on you, every person has an opinion. But the only thing that matters is the preparation and what leads to performance, what leads to outcomes. And he does a great job of keeping that in order. He is in the staff meeting with the offensive staff. And the offensive staff probably met 15 hours, 16 hours this weekend. He's in there taking notes and getting those corrections. We talk about the 4 interceptions, but it just talks about the trust that he has in his wideouts, right? And that trust was evident in the second half when he just dropped back and threw a dart to Teron for the skinny post for the touchdown. But that tells you how good he is and how poised and mature he is for a junior quarterback. We're lucky again to have him again for next year.
And no disrespect whatsoever intended, but at the final seconds, you got your offensive starters in there, and you're attacking, you're at the 1-yard line before you finally kneel.
Finish. Every stone has to be turned, We have 11 guys, they have 11 guys. Our job is to not let the offense back on the field. Their job is to stop us.
All right, Coach, this is for the players. Your coach has said some pretty good things about you guys. I'm gonna give you the last word to comment to your coach real quick. Each one of you.
Me, I just want to say thank you for like taking me in when I came here as a sophomore and, you know, just developing me. I was in other school my 10th grade year, so I was a year of work where I was just able to develop you better. And, you know, he always told me, you know, you got to trust the process and what you're doing, and, you know, it's going to eventually pay off. And, you know, I just listened to him. I took everything that he taught me, and, you know, I applied it to life. I applied it to the game of football, and he put me up.
I would like to say really I appreciate you for like pushing me every day, being the best person and the best man I could be. The long talk that we had really be helping me whenever I need it. And you somebody that I can go to whenever I need you.
I want to say thank you too. You know, you always been there for me. We've been working since last December to accomplish this goal. And not only he teaches us football, he teaches us how to be a man. You know, one day outside of football, what you're going to do outside of life. So I want to say thank you to that too.
I want to say thank you for believing in me, putting the love of football back in me. You know, I want to say thank you for Coach Brice too for comforting me and taking me in as well.
First, I just want to say, Coach, I love you. He always hold me accountable for whatever I do, like in a locker room, he has my moment, but you know, yeah, I love you. I'm happy that God blessed you in my life. He taught me a lot. Be a good man, a good son to my mom. Just help me be successful, and I love you.
Same thing, man. Y'all say, you know, appreciate you. You know, I love you, Coach B. I always remember that talk my sophomore year at the Cali game. He told me I was the next one. And I just thank you for believing in me and giving me the call to lead the team this year.
Picking off what he said, I just appreciate him taking us all in, you know, making us become better men on the field and off the field, you know, teaching us a lot. And just putting in our head, you know, we need to get over that hump as a team and us being together. And he showed us that it's just more than just being on a football team, it's family. And all these players up here, I just love them. I love Coach. You know, and now we won.
Coach, I don't know if it could be put better. Carr, state champions.
Go Cougars.